Okay, so this is Miss Alonzo's class info and expectations, grades, and virtual schedule. This is for the Math 8. So I do teach two classes. I teach Math 8 and Algebra 1. This is for Math 8. So supplies you will need, the district provided school supplies should be coming in the next few weeks. They told us next week, but with shipping and everything else going on right now, I would guess probably wait at least, or it'll probably be another week or so. When they say next week, sometimes it means the week after. So those supplies will help you. There will be pencils and scissors and glue and all of that. But something that will not be included that I tend to use quite a bit, and it's just, if you watched my dyslexia or my in about me video, then you know I have dyslexia. And one of the things about me having dyslexia is I like to use colors to keep everything separated. So I do use colored pens whenever I take notes and whenever I do problems. So you will see me use a lot of colored pens. I have found a lot of students like to use colored pens along with me. So if you would like to buy a set of colored pens, you can do that. They don't have to be fancy. I think Papermate makes a set that's like $1.97 for like 5 different colors of pens. They can be the cheap ones. Of course, I have my favorite that are like the super fancy ones. So it's up to you. If you want to get fancy ones, you can, but these are not required. They are just suggestions that could make things easier. The next one is graph paper spiral. So this is actually the one I got at Walmart. I always get one for each class for myself so that I can take notes along with you guys. And this is actually 100 pages, so it's actually quite a few pages. And it's only $1.47. So it says 4x4, hopefully it's not backwards, but 4x4 quad notebook. So 4x4 quad notebook. Just search graph paper spiral. I even didn't pick them up myself. I do the Walmart pickup and they brought it to my car for me. So those are really helpful so that you don't have to create your own graphs. You already have the graph paper in the same notebook. Of course, not always will we use the graph paper part, but it's easier to have a whole notebook of graph paper than to buy a notebook that's not graph paper and then to turn around and have to try to make a graph. A scientific calculator if you want to, but your computer and phone work just fine as well. Whenever we are, or if we get to soon go back into class, we'll have a calculator that looks like this. In the classroom, we have a whole class set. They're the TI-84 plus CEs, but these are pretty expensive. Yes, mine has a silicone cover because I'm a math teacher and I'm a nerd, but so it's up to you. Just a scientific calculator, I think they're like $11, or just the calculator on your phone or your computer work as well. I know everyone is struggling right now for money. So again, these things are not required. It just might help you. Even in the pack of stuff that you're gonna get from the school district, I believe you're gonna get a red pen, a black pen, or red pens, black pens, and then pencils. So even if you just use black and then red, that works as well. I will use colored pens. It's just the way I am. Okay. Actually, I might be using colored Expo depending on how I decide to do it. But grading. You will have assignments, quizzes, and tests on Schoology, and Mathia for individual work through Carnegie. So Carnegie is actually the textbook that you should have received when you picked up your laptop. Carnegie is the textbook and workbook, and tomorrow's video we'll be talking more about like this workbook. But Carnegie is the curriculum is what we call it, but the textbook. And then they have an online platform that's called Mathia. It's similar to Imagine Math if you were in the district last year. But in my opinion, it's a little bit better. So you guys can make your own opinion about that. You will always have multiple attempts on assignments on Schoology. That's just the way I have it set. Usually it's 3. If you ever need more than that, you can always request that I either open it up. But I usually find that if a student needs to take more than 3 attempts, that they're struggling and they really just need help. So if you ever get to the spot where you have taken all 3 attempts, please don't give up. Just send me an email. I will be talking in just a minute about the Zoom call that I'll be on every day for help. And if you are getting stuck, you can always log in to that Zoom call and say, Ms. Alonzo, I need some more attempts. You can send me an email. But after 3 attempts, I always like to help the students or help my students figure out what they're messing up on. So just talk to me if you need more than that. After each quiz or test, the mastery feature on Schoology will show which goals you struggled on. When Schoology shows you have not met expectations, you have not met the minimum requirements for that goal. So typically you will see that I need 3 pieces of evidence. In some topics, if it's really short and we didn't get to that many, then I wouldn't require 3. But typically you'll see that I require 3, which would include like a quiz, a test, maybe 2 quizzes and a test. If we have some other thing that I will take as evidence, those count. Usually assignments on Schoology don't count just because you have so many attempts that you might just be guessing, like say it was a multiple choice, you might just be guessing and guessing and guessing. So I usually don't take assignments since there's so many attempts on them. I can't, oh, I do have it on another slide. So mastery on Schoology will be how I use a lot of your METs and not yets. Grades do count this fall and you will be held accountable. So unlike in the spring when we were just thrown into online schooling and we had no training, some of the teachers hadn't used Schoology and other things before, this will count. So I've actually been using Schoology for 4 years, I think, yeah, 4 years. So I'm very familiar with it. I'm actually one of the ones that trains the other teachers at Hermosa. So if you don't know how to do something, then you're going to have to either ask me how to do it, but your grades will count and you will not be able to use the excuse of, I didn't know how to do it. There are ways to ask me or ask the school how to get help. So it is your responsibility. You guys are getting really close to being in high school. So it is your responsibility. Okay, makeup work and redo work. So students will be allowed to show mastery on any goal up until the end of the topic, not until the end of the quarter. So I know in the past you've had times where you're able to work on it and work on it and work on it. But that's not how my class works. That's not how the other 8th grade math class works. You have until the end of the topic, and we usually give you a week or so after the topic. So if, say, your 3rd attempt on a goal was on the test and you missed it, then at the end of or after everyone has taken the test or after the test, I will have folders assigned that have makeup work in them. And a retest, and you can always come in to, or not come in, I'm sorry, you can always do those. You would just have to let me know, hey, Miss Alonzo, I need simple goal 1 for this topic, and then I will let you make it up. Okay, so, and it will probably just automatically be assigned to you by me. Like, I guess it's not automatic, but I would go and assign it to you so that you would have it. So again, it's till the end of the topic, not the end of the quarter. Rules, I really am not going to read all of these, but just make sure you're respectful. Don't interrupt people in Zoom calls. Don't make rude comments. Be responsible. If you miss a Zoom call or if you don't complete your assignments, own up to it. Just say, Miss Alonzo, I just completely forgot to do math this week or whatever, and I will work with you. Just own up to it and know that it was not my fault, and don't get mad at me because you were the one that chose not to do your work. So like it says, you're responsible for the work. If you do not complete the work, you will struggle on the tests and quizzes and will make more work for you later by doing those makeup goals like I was talking about. Cheating on assignments also that doesn't help you. You will have a different test version than the everybody else in the class. So if you just text your friend and say, what's the answer to question 1 on the test, you will get it wrong. And then that's when you're going to have to make it up. Okay, attend Zoom meetings. And I'll get to that schedule in just a minute. But if you're unable to attend, just email me or message me on Schoology, and just let me know that you missed, and I'll tell you if there's anything that you missed that you can't just find on Schoology. Okay. Mondays are for independent work. So I have meetings and planning time on Mondays. I will not be able to quickly respond to emails just because I'll be in meetings all day. So you will still have work. It's just it will be independent work rather than working and me being able to respond immediately. So the live class schedule, this is what it is as of right now. Things are changing constantly. So if it does change, I'll put out a thing that lets you know. So right now, math is scheduled to meet on Wednesdays. I almost said Monday, but math is scheduled to meet on Wednesdays. So I, as a math teacher, would be on from 9 to 12 in all of my different class periods. I know that they told us that we could have more throughout the week, but I don't plan to. I have a 5-year-old that is supposed to be in kindergarten, and he's not being able to go to kindergarten, and he's already going to have to sit for however many hours while I'm in live classes. I also, the way I run my class, even in school, I don't think that the Zoom calls are necessary every single day. Of course, I have the Zoom calls that I'll get to in just a minute that are going to be in the afternoon to answer questions that you could always jump into. But I also think that there's a lot of families that there's more than one kid that are at home working on stuff, and it just might not be the same schedule as another sibling. You might be the oldest sibling and you might be the one having to take care of your younger siblings. And so you might just not be able to get on from 9 to 12 every single day. So I plan on sticking to just Wednesdays. That's just my preference. And that is the requirement, is that we have to have one live class a week by the district. Okay, so then this is what I was talking about. So if you need extra help or you have questions, all Hermosa teachers will have an open Zoom meeting for themselves, not all together. And you can go through Clever, and those are from 2 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So just not on Mondays. And this will give you time to ask questions from assignments or anything else that if you need help getting into or finding something, you can always get on. You can email me. I'm really good about getting my email. It pops up on my phone, and it pops up and I am able to respond to it. Okay, and that's even through Schoology. Schoology sends me an email when I get a message, so I get both of them on my phone. All work for the week is expected to be turned in by Friday at 4. So, and of course, if you have something come up or if you really just can't work during the week and you need to work on the weekend, just let me know. I really try to be understanding and working with students. Attendance, we are told that we have to take attendance for the week, and I'm going to be taking attendance by if you log in and complete work on Schoology or on Carnegie, which is that one that I was talking about, that is the online curriculum for the textbook. So completing work counts as attendance. The Zoom call that we'll have on Wednesdays will also count as attendance. Okay, I believe that is the end of it. So again, guys, please just email me, message me on Schoology if you need any help. I try to respond pretty quickly so that the question you don't forget what question you even asked. So yeah, hopefully you're not too intimidated by me. I really like to work with students and not try to scare them off all the time. Okay, thanks guys.